We're live.
You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
All right, it is once again time for Happy Hour. It is the Man Cave Happy Hour, whiskey, cigar, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I am Matt Fox.
And we are at Ambassador Cigar in lovely Troy, Michigan.
Yes, I love
Ambassador.
We love to come here, and there's a reason why. One, we love the people here. Right?
Yep.
And number two, it's really close to home.
It's really, really close to home. And today is the October Herf for the Cigar Cartel.
Yes.
Is that Cigar Cartel of Michigan or just fair
Cigar
play.
Cartel of Michigan?
I knew Michigan was in there someplace.
Yep. Every state has their own chapter, and the main group, the main page has over 30,000 members in it.
That's craziness.
Yep.
So we're here hanging out, and we have one of the coordinators for the Cigar Cartel in Michigan.
Welcome back to Jeremy.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Man Cave.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
And we were in Tony's Man Cave last time we were hanging out.
The bunker.
The bunker.
In the bunker. But today we were talking about, Matt and I were like, let's go and join the Herf. It's a nice fall day, and we were like, we need. I haven't had a cigar in a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm not a daily cigar smoker.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could use a cigar. I'm kind of jonesing for it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about what makes a good cigar for like fall or doing yard work in the fall.
Right.
And so we're going to talk about that and just the things that we have in our hands. But what is, Jeremy, what is a Herf?
A Herf, I'd say by definition of my layman's definition, it's a gathering of people sharing similar interests and having a cigar, having a drink, having a cigar, drinking what you like, having pairings, having a group of guys come out or women. We've got women in our group too.
It's like a gathering of the juggalos.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe not.
It's predominantly men, yes, but we do have.
That was crazy.
We do have some women in our group. So, yep.
All right, so the Cigar Cartel, and just really enjoying it. You got some giveaways. You guys do a raffle.
We do a raffle every month.
You pull stuff out and raffle it off.
Yep.
Today it's kind of Drew Estate themed because a lot of the cats in the cartel like the Drew Estates.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, catering to the masses. Absolutely. You got to do it.
Yep. Yeah, we're big Drew Estate. I'd say Tatuaje is a big one. Viaje, Roma Craft, Fuente is a big one. Opus. Yeah, we got.
That's I'm always
make the rounds.
Oh yeah.
I'm always afraid these cigar names. I'm not hooked on phonics, man. I'm just gonna mess them up. It's just not gonna be good.
You get that Rosetta Stone, the Spanish version.
I know. It's
Gotta get those enunciations down, right?
I absolutely need it to get myself situated with that. So, but there's another event going on with the Karloffs from
Tatuaje. Yep.
Tatuaje.
Yep.
From Tatooine. I know that one.
That's close. That's very
Tatuaje.
Close. But Tatuaje cigars on Tatooine.
Like, is this like a
with
Star
Anakin?
Wars cigar?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been
and only if Karloff was in Star Wars, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
We could have had a Halloween themed Herf today. I didn't
we
even
can, we can deep fake him into
we
there.
really kind of fell on our face with that one. That would,
you know what?
Because
it's been 7 months.
You haven't had the opportunity to get together.
It's been a minute, and everybody's been jonesing to hang out and get together and smoke a cigar, man. It's just been it's been nice to, it's been summertime. Everybody's been hanging out, doing yard work and all that kind of stuff. But now it's the winter months and everybody's jonesing for cigars and
right,
hanging out. It's just it's a good time.
And we were talking about before we went live, before we started going, what are we going to talk about today? And Jamie's like brilliant as usual. He's like, yard work and fall time. And when you're doing yard work, smoking a cigar at the same time.
Do you smoke a cigar when you do yard work, raking leaves, cutting the grass?
Of course.
All right. So what's your go-to for
driving the tractor? Got to have a drink and a cigar.
I know my tractor's got a cup holder.
Mine does too. Mine does too.
If they didn't want you to drink while you're doing it, why did they put a cup holder on it?
Exactly.
I'm that asshole that still has a push mower, so I have to wait until afterwards because you can't really smoke a cigar. And do a push mower
if there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying, they make those clips. I've got one that I use for my golf cart when I go golfing. I mean, it's
fair enough.
It's doable,
fair enough.
but I understand. So if I was, I try not to go too expensive,
right,
when I'm on the tractor, just because you're not really paying attention too much.
Sure.
But you still want something that's got good flavor. So I guess it's just whatever I'm in the mood for, if it's a Drew Estate stick or if it's a, I like I don't know if you guys ever tried the Fat Bottom Betty.
No.
The whole, the crazy, the Deadwood ladies from Drew Estate or whatever. They're not infused. It's like it's a pipe tobacco. Aromatic pipe tobacco in the cigars.
Interesting.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
So if you like sweet cigars, that's but you don't want the infused, like the acid line.
Yeah. Right.
Excellent cigars for sitting on the tractor.
Because I was smoking a pipe, like back when I was DJing in the clubs.
Oh, right.
I would occasionally bring a pipe out, and I'd smoke a pipe.
Yep.
Because it's just so aromatic. It just
He's working on your image, right?
I'm not a big smoker, generally speaking.
No. Never have.
And I never really did the cigarettes. I would do clove cigarettes. I quit that. By ninth grade, I was. I'm not kidding. It's I grew up in the city. It was an interesting existence. So I started running track in high school, and I was like, man, I was like John Travolta in Grease. Hey, how about you cut it down to a pack a day? I was winded as I'm sucking air as a freshman. I was like, all right, I'm gonna change my ways and give up the Newports.
Ooh, a little crystallization.
So, but when I started DJing in the clubs, I would do the Jarum cigarettes here and there, and then a cigar occasionally, and then I was pulling out. My dad had pipes. He used to smoke, and he kind of gave them to me, and I was like, so I started getting into the pipes for a little bit. But I was a little more into the pipe than I was the cigar. So that sounds fun. That one sounds fun.
Yeah, that's really good. I mean, it's all in what you like. I mean, I don't recommend anything super fancy or super expensive. I mean, my yard's got a few bumps to it, so it's just something that's going to hold an ash that's not going to fall on your lap or fall on the tractor. So that'd be my recommendation. Yep.
That's fair.
All right, so the Cigar Aficionado put out a list of some fall cigars, cigars you need to try this fall. And the first one is the Cohiba Esplendido. Yeah. So it's it was the number 11 spot on the in 2014 of the top 25.
Yep.
And they really recommend it for this fall. The Imperial Maduro from Pardon. And then, the Rocky Patel number 6 Corona is in there. So you like the Rockies?
I've enjoyed the Rockies over the past couple of years. Actually, I have. The Decade was always one that I would gravitate towards.
Yep.
On the Rocky Patel line, the Decade.
Yep.
So
Cohiba Lancero. That's another one they suggest for the fall. And another one. You got you again?
Oh, yeah, hiccups, buddy.
Oh, you got the hiccups.
I got the hiccups.
Oh, I thought you were like, I love that cigar.
Dude, hiccups in podcasting is amazing. I got to tell you.
The H. Upman Corona Major Turbo.
Okay.
And that's a good one. And there's a whole list of 16 cigars here that they picked. But, Jeremy, you picked one for us from Drew Estate.
Yes.
And I was hoping it would show up on the list, and it didn't. So what did you pick for us today?
Today we have the Undercrown Sun-Grown Dogma. This is the new edition this year. They've had the Sun-Grown before, but in collaboration with Cigar Dojo, which is almost like a Herf app that they have. It's their shtick is don't smoke alone. And so they've done a collaboration. Before they did the Undercrown Maduro, and now this year they've come out with the Undercrown Sun-Grown Dogma. So it's a little shorter, still box pressed. It's a little thicker too. I think it's a 54.
What's the gauge on it? 54?
54. All right. So you did an amazing double V cut on yours. Can you do that to mine?
Not a problem.
Would you? Cut me, Mick. Cut me. Cut me. So
I went straight because
I like the V cut. I like the V cut,
and
I like the double V cut. They got the big steel press one that they use here at the. There's the big steel cube with the cutters on it. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's when the waitress comes over and gives you the big double cut there.
And that actually turned out way better than mine did.
So
this cutter's seen some use, so it's about time to get any replacement. Cigar, if you're listening, I could use a sponsorship.
There you are. So yeah, take the end band off there. Sun grown. So what does that mean? Sun grown. What does that mean?
So it's the way they leave it in the field, from my understanding, it sees more sun than a normal, like a Connecticut shade. They put this cheesecloth over the whole field. When we were in cigar safari down at Drew Estate a couple years ago, it was just acres and acres and acres of tobacco plants. And then they had this cheesecloth covering all the plants.
Interesting.
So the leaves are milder. They don't get as much sun, because the more sun they get, the drier it gets. They get the more nutrients, I guess. So they get more full bodied as more sun they get. So, and this one actually has a stock cut Habano wrapper similar to the T52s that we had at Tony's. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but this has a different filler binder combination. So it's gonna be a little spicier. It's not going to be it's still going to have that same, it's going to be a little mellower, right? And not as full body, but still medium to full on the stick as well.
Yeah.
You had mentioned the spicy earlier.
Yeah.
I'm asking them like red pepper, or are we talking habanero? And I haven't even quite figured it out.
Now that I've lit it again, I'm getting a little red pepper.
Are you?
But it's not it's not a punch you in the face. It tingles your taste buds, but it's not a knock you on your.
I think that's what gave me the hiccups, because I wasn't ready for it, to be honest with you. But I like that little flavor, because it's there, but it's not over exorbitant. It's not kicking my teeth off. Right.
Yeah.
But it's just got a nice feel for it. And if you put this with a bourbon that's got a little bit of a spice to it,
or a Oktoberfest beer, I'm not, like I told you guys before we got on the air, I'm not a big beer and cigar pairing guy. I'd rather have a mixed drink or a bourbon. But even a nice rye, neat would. This with a nice rye, I think would be spot on.
Fair enough.
It's working well with my Guinness.
There you go.
It's working really well with my Guinness. So what's wrapped up inside of here?
So I'm going to cheat a little bit, because I don't.
Oh, absolutely! Yeah,
I'm not.
We cheat all the time when we're talking about this stuff.
I don't have this one memorized yet. So this one is the wrapper is Ecuadorian Sumatra sun-grown wrapper. The binder is Connecticut River Valley stock cut cured sun-grown Habano, and the fillers from Nicaragua.
Okay.
5x54.
So Nicaragua seems very, very popular for a lot of those cigars that were mentioned for the fall. Why do you think that is?
Nicaragua, in my opinion, has the best tobacco around.
And very popular right now.
Very,
in general.
very popular in the last, I'd say, 10 years.
Right.
It's really had a surge in use. It seems like everybody is going that way. I mean, obviously, Drew Estate's down in Esteli, Nicaragua, but it's more robust. It's got more flavor to it. It's got the heft to it. If you're looking for something that's going to knock you on your seat, you go Nicaraguan.
Right.
This is it's strong. It's bold. But it's not super strong. It's not really strong. Yep. It's bold
for me and for my palate, my taste of it. It's mild, but it's more on the bolder mild than it would be on the lighter mild side.
Yep.
So I think this would pair really well with it. Probably a Guinness, or like you said, with the rye and anything like that. Yeah. I'm drinking coffee still.
Yeah,
I haven't woke up
Coke,
yet.
So it's a little early in the day to be drinking for me too. So I'm having a little Coke, and it's going.
We had a long day. You hang out quite a while when you guys do these herps, right? Because Cigar Cartel here, there's probably 15 cats here hanging out for the Cigar Cartel. And it's a long day. It started at noon. How long are you going to be?
Started at noon. The official end time is when everybody starts bailing out. So it's 5, 6 o'clock. We're usually here till, and days like, we haven't had one of these in a while. So I bet
college football. That's what, and the ambassador.
A lot of
college football, horse racing.
Sports ball. That's a thing?
Yeah.
That's a thing again?
The Big Ten's kicking off next week. I can't wait.
Yeah, Michigan State on Halloween.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Good one. Hopefully.
The boys want to play, man. Those boys want to play, and they want to win.
Yep. So watching these other games is just
prepping for
I'm
that.
just just chomping at the bit.
And there's no rankings yet for them either.
No, there is.
Oh, is there now?
There's 5 Big Ten teams I saw this morning.
They're ranked?
They're ranked, and they haven't even played a game yet. There's 5 Big Ten teams. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, I think Minnesota.
Matt, are they ranked? Does Vegas still exist? Yes, they're ranked.
We'll see after next weekend. We'll see how that goes.
I don't pay that much attention to college football. I really don't. I pay more attention to professional football, but I'm starting to understand a little bit more about the college atmosphere and what have you. So I'm still learning. Anything I do right now, I'm just going to learn. Yeah, because I'm starting over from scratch.
There you go.
Honestly,
perfect.
So, which is why I want to know more about the Cigar Cartel.
Sure.
What is it about the Cigar Cartel that brings people into you guys? What do you guys do to bring other members in?
I think it's just a different group of cats. Like you said, there's the cigar smokers of Michigan. They're a whole other group. Some of those guys are part of our group. We go in between. We're friends with all those guys and stuff too. And they've been around longer than we have. We've only been around since January of 2018. So, but we've got 420 members now. So, but we're very selective on who we let in. We want to make sure people are posting. We want to make sure people are engaged and stay engaged. We don't want just a flood of people that nobody posts. And
right.
So
I'm kind of notorious for that.
It is what it is.
Group, and it
is what it is. We just if you want to post, you want to post.
Button.
You don't. But we want to make sure that you're at least semi-engaged in it. So
fair enough. Because we do belong to groups on the Man Cave. Whiskey drinkers of Michigan, whiskey drinkers, whiskey lovers, what have you. And I actually put out there. I was drinking Verner's and Crown Royal Apple Whiskey. And that is a fantastic. I really enjoyed it for a fall drink.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
That sounds really
I had
good.
never had it before. Yeah. People are commenting all the time. Oh, it's one of my favorites or what have you. So being engaged on those social pages is important because you want people to know that you're engaged.
Yep.
And then if you have a question, that you go to folks and they're going to respond.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So if this is your first time or you're interested about this cigar or any cigar, you go, hey, what does everybody think about this? And you got 400 some people in our Michigan group that well, hey, we think you could get it here at Ambassador. You could get it at another shop in Michigan, or if you can't get it in Michigan, you can go somewhere else to get it if you really want to try it. So it's really cool to connect with other people with similar interests and stay connected with them, especially in this weird year.
And that's one of the nice things about the Ambassadors. All of their waitresses or the bartenders, Sean, they know their shit.
Yes.
And you can ask questions and they will help you understand where your profile lies.
Right.
So you have a good experience.
Yes.
And that's what they're all about is the experience of it.
Right.
All those cigar places that we've been to, whether it be Godfather or Ambassador or we're downtown, we have good experiences because of the knowledge of that folks have. They're very knowledgeable of what they do because they wouldn't do this if they weren't passionate about it, right? Yep. So what keeps you passionate about continuing to learn more about cigars yourself, Sean?
I mean, it's a my dad who's here with me today, shout out to Papa Smitty. And he's the one who got me into smoking cigars when I was 18.
The gentleman right there in the beanie hat?
No, that's Bill. He's one of the other administrators.
Okay. Where's your dad at?
Right over here with the glasses.
Oh, fair enough. Blue shirt.
Yep.
All right.
And so he got me into smoking cigars, and my first one was Acid Cuba Cuba, and then it's been downhill ever since. So my grandpa smoked cigars. It's just. And then it's just one of those things where you start learning about it, and then you start geeking out about it, and then you go down to Cigar Safari, and then you really geek out, and it's just
okay. Fair.
So that was one of my dad and I's bucket list items that him and I wanted to do together was to go down and do one of these safaris and experience it. The two of us. We took some more of our Michigan buddies that none of them are here today, but we took there's probably 6 of us from Michigan. Met a couple other guys that were from Michigan that were down there that we didn't know that were going. Drew State Mike went with us. I mean, we had a riot.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just trying new things. Like I'm not always looking for new things, but you see the lists that come out and it's like, oh man, it really sounds like it's gonna, I like this and that same kind of flavor profile. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. Okay. So what is I gotta ask, the harshest cigar that you've ever had? And it really kicked your face, kicked your teeth off.
The harshest woman I ever had.
That's a totally different show. But we could get into it if you want.
Yeah. I think we need to have some real drinks if we're gonna start talking about that.
I don't know what stirred that up. But,
so
I hadn't said anything ridiculous in at least 5 minutes. So I needed to. Okay.
So originally, the one that put me on my butt was the Feral Flying Pig. And it
Okay,
was
repeat that.
it was a feral flying pig from Drew Estate.
That'd kick anyone in the teeth, wouldn't it?
It was
Oh, you're actually talking a cigar.
the cigar.
Oh, okay.
It's called a feral flying pig.
All right.
It's got a pigtail cap on it. It's a powerhouse. And this was probably 6-8 years ago when my palate was still developing, and it was just, it's one of those ones that just, oh God, it's really good, but then it creeps up on you and you go, and you're getting like the sweats, and it's
Oh
like,
my god.
shit, I better like sit down and have something to drink
I need
or
some
have some
morphine,
food.
man.
I need a sandwich or something to soak up some of this. Holy shit. But
Sometimes I get a little lightheaded from the because again I'm not a regular smoker,
Sure.
so
Little
I'll
nicotine
get that
buzz.
fuzzy
Yep.
feeling going.
Yep.
Is there a cigar that's hit you? It's like, oh wow, dude, I'm seeing vapor trails. What's going on? What was
Right.
in that cigar?
yeah,
Right.
that one was too, but there's a way to combat that. I don't know if you guys ever tried this though or
No,
ever
please.
heard of it. If you take a sugar packet, put it under your tongue,
Mhm.
let it dissolve, and that should, after 15-20 minutes, should take away some of that nicotine buzz that you have.
Oh,
Really?
I've tried it, it's worked,
Okay.
but I try and have something a little sugary on hand,
Sure.
and then you don't have to worry about that. It kind of just maintains, and you don't have to.
It's about balance,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And is there a type of cigar that does that to you more than others? But you're a practiced professional.
I was going to
now.
say I'm a 6 to 10 cigar a week guy, so it's some weeks it's more, some weeks it's less,
There's
but
Yeah,
not too much anymore. I don't really have the problem, but
Yeah.
it happens every once in a while. If you don't have a decent meal before you start really smoking all day, you can really get
Yeah.
lightheaded quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the herf's starting at noon, right?
Yeah.
You can't smoke all day if you don't start early.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's the most truest
Yeah.
statement
That's
that you
very
have
true.
said
Very true.
in the past 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I just come up with the quips and then I'll stand aside and let you take over, Matt.
Man, oh man. So what's next on your agenda, Jeremy? As you continue on, what is next for you guys?
For the group or for me personally?
Both.
Oh,
Dig into it, man.
Well, it's now that it's kind of the rules are kind of opening up now for Michigan here. We're going to try and get back to our monthly routine of doing a different herf at a different shop every month.
Fair enough.
We haven't set up a November one yet, but there's a couple we're shopping around the idea of going to for November, December, but we haven't put a stake in it yet. And
Do you go to different cigar bars?
we try to every month,
Yeah.
different one. There's about 8 to 10 different ones within probably an hour. I'm in the Flint area, so about an hour drive, or sometimes a little more. There's a couple on the west side that we try and hit if we can.
Because
And,
Jackie from the Stray Cat just checked in.
yeah,
Yeah.
we haven't been there yet.
Hey, there you go. November, December.
We've been
They're open for business.
trying to do something
They got a couple
there.
bartenders. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Worth the price of admission.
Yep. And
Is that sexist? I gotta see. I'm a sexist son of a bitch.
I didn't
Oh
get
my
that at all.
God, I gotta stop being such a skeevy pig.
hey,
I really do.
if that's
I
what you
can't help
got to do,
myself.
man. That's
So no, but Matt, we've done a couple shows, man caves
Mhm.
at the Stray Cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're always
Yeah.
just
Very gracious.
incredibly hospitable.
Yep.
You talk to Jackie and her husband, and they will take
Yeah.
good care of the cigar cartel.
Absolutely.
Tell him I sent you.
Tell 'em the man cave
tell him we
the
sent you.
man
over.
cave sent me.
See, you got some chops when they don't refer to you by name. As Matt and Jamie, it's the man
It's
cave.
the man
the man
cave,
cave sent
The
me.
man
Oh,
cave
really?
said hello.
Are those guys? Who's that? What is that? No,
And
but
then for me though, it's
yeah.
like just hanging out and smoking, man. Just trying to grow the group and try different cigars. And
So
No.
this is your career path.
Well,
I always like to know about what the
I
agenda.
wish this was my career path. I wish I could make money doing cigars. That's the dream for sure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're 9 to 5 then.
9 to 5. Yep. I work at the local government up in Davison. Do planning and zoning. So if anybody wants to do a new business, they come see me and see if it's a viable option.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
So I have questions.
Okay.
Not on air, but
Not
I
on
have
air,
questions.
okay.
All right, fair play.
No, you cannot build a deck.
Speaking of decks,
Yeah.
So how much trouble would you be in, say, if you had built a deck and never got any permitting done and just kind of did it?
everybody's different. We've got you've got some places where they'll make you either tear it down and start over, which can be costly, or you take a fine and then got to go through all the whole permitting process still. Yeah. But it's everybody's different.
It's my land, damn it.
Yeah.
Get off my land.
But if you think of this, I always tell people.
Here we go.
Here's the thing, though.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
So even though you technically own it, stop paying your taxes and see what happens. You are a glorified renter.
Oh, nice.
You are a glorified renter because if you stop paying, we will take your property.
I got a leg up, though. My house, right? It was built in 1831.
No kidding.
So, yeah, before Michigan was a state. Before the Civil. No, was it before Michigan was a civil? It was before the Civil War.
Okay, it was before the Civil War. Right.
I think I'm grandfathered on some stuff. I'm thinking.
He's saying no, buddy.
Ask the state of Michigan what they think about that.
Yeah. No, that's a story I want to go in. That's a.
You can hang your hat on that all day if you want, but I hate to break it to you, man.
I think you're probably much more correct with the glorified renter than anything else. Just in the back of my head. That's a little story I like to tell myself.
That's right. As long as it's good for you, it's a good story for you. That's good.
That's my narrative.
So that's what the Man Cave's all about. It's not just about always cigars and whiskey. It's just about life and people in general. And that's why we do this, is to get to know individuals and kind of dig in at what they're like. Right. So
before I did that, I was still with the same company or the same municipality. I was the assistant tax assessor beforehand, so I've got a little knowledge, dabble in a little thing every little bit.
Here comes a revenue.
Yep.
Now here's the interesting thing. I don't know if you do it or if this was just a wives' tale or what. My buddy lives in Royal Oak, and he built just like a privacy fence, but not on the fence line.
Yep.
It was in the yard.
Yep.
And it was just kind of like the shield because the neighbor had like some ugly stuff going on in the back corner of his yard. Mm-hmm. So it was just like this just like an 8-foot section. And it was really cool, just the staggered wood and stained in different colors, and there were flower boxes and things on it. Just a magnificent piece he built. And he was like all pissed off at his neighbors because he thought it's somebody because he didn't pull a permit to put in these 2 posts and create this little, 8-foot of a fence. Yep. But it was within the confines of his yard. And all of a sudden, just one day, there was a sticker on his door from the city of Royal Oak saying, "We stopped by your house and we noticed the window on the back of your garage is in need of repair. It needs to be painted, And what he found out, is that they have something on the Google Maps or something, and they noticed that there was something new in the yard, and so they came out to see it, and they didn't have a problem with that fence. But then they're like, "Well, we drove all the way out. Let's bitch about something." And they said his window is rusty and needed new caulking.
You'd be surprised what we can see from Google and other programs that we have at our fingertips.
Is that true? So
at some municipalities, you have where you can either be real jerks about things or you can be really lax about things. And we fall right into the middle. We've got a zoning ordinance book that's about yay thick, about 250 pages of rules that you have to follow.
It's a 5x54. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, some municipalities, the more rural places, they have a small book that they follow. And then City of Royal Oak may have one that's about 3 volumes big.
Royal Oak, really, you think?
They might. I mean, you can go after a lot of things, and it's viable. They have every right to do that
but
if they so choose.
Yeah, he thought the neighbor had ratted him out or something.
Doesn't always have to be a neighbor.
And then he found out that it was no, because he went and he was having an honest conversation with the people, because he knocked out the window and put in glass block, and it's okay, problem solved. Took a picture of it, took it to the surveyor, you damn revenuers, and took it into so they shut up, and they had a private conversation on the side, and they're he's it's that it was through the Google Maps or whatever, the satellite immediary.
Oh yeah,
they put some in his yard. I'm screwed because I have some serious contraband going on in my yard. We're talking fire pits and sheds and decks.
Just depends on where you're at and how much of a jerk they want to be about it.
Yeah.
And my Hazel Park house. Are you on a cell phone? Who is this? Prank call. What's that from? You know that from?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's a little Eric Stoltz and John Travolta.
Oh, okay.
Pulp Fiction. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep.
Who is? What? You calling me on a cell phone? Who is this? Prank call. Prank call.
I'm in some big trouble, man.
Yeah.
I found that fascinating, though. That so that's a thing. I thought he was just jerking my chain. I'm like, no, they're not checking your yard with the
very
Google
true.
map.
Very
Good
true.
God.
Very true.
And that's the thing. It's like, all right, so if you go to Google Maps right now, Google, and like go to the street view and then look, or even just zoom in, you're like, holy crap. You can see. So if I can see that just on some stupid website.
If you can see that, we can see that.
And then, well, how much better stuff is out there?
Right?
I try to sunbathe in the yard as often as possible, just to give him something to look at.
You said his neighbor was, doing some, weird stuff.
Yeah.
Was he walking around in a Speedo? Was that why he put the fence up? Or
probably had a backyard full of junk that he didn't want to look at anymore, probably. Yeah, we get that a lot too. But yeah, I've got a program that I can actually, like, if you say, no, you can't come in, I can measure what you have in your backyard. So if you say, oh, I don't have a shed back there. Oh, yeah, you do. And I know it's 10 by 12. So guess what?
And that's where algebra comes in. That's why you have to pay attention to algebra class.
So
A squared plus B squared is C squared.
Paint the roof of that shed camouflage.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. It's
I love
the
that.
technology nowadays it's beautiful when it works. When it doesn't work, it's a pain in the ass.
I had called. I have an asphalt driveway.
Yeah.
And it's in real bad shape. It needs to be redone. And so I, some neighbors had gotten some work done. And I grabbed the phone number off the yard sign and I call. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, can you come out and give me an estimate? She's like, no. She goes, what's your address? And I give her the address. And she's all clickety click clack. She's like, yeah. Okay. So it looks like you got about this, and this. And I'm like, what? How? She goes, oh, we just use the satellite photos. And I'm like,
saves them time and energy. They can do 50 estimates in a day as opposed to 10.
And I was looking at lawn service at one point in time, and there was an app for lawn service. And they're like, all right, what are your dimensions so we can know how much to charge you to mow your lawn?
Right.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what my dimensions are because I didn't pay attention in algebra. So that's just me, though.
There you go.
Yeah, I was astounded. I'm enjoying this. As it goes down, the dogma here, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's very smooth. It's very smooth.
Yeah, it's not getting harsh as it goes down.
No, but it's got that little bit of...
It's got every hit. It's that little spice. It's just on the tip of your tongue, that spice that hangs out.
Yep.
I am enjoying this as well. I might have to partake in another one here before I leave. So
take one home.
Take one home, yeah.
It's that box press, which I like. Because inevitably, Matt and I, we'll do, we don't do it often, but when we do cigars, we'll each get the same one generally. Yep. And so mine always boats on me. And it's always...
And you know what it
nice ash.
Is because you're not... If you turn it, if you keep turning it every time you puff, that'll help correct a lot of that too.
I have better luck with the box presses.
Really? I
have better luck with box presses not boating on me than regular cigars. Mm-hmm. And I've just found that. And again, I'm not a professional. I'm not a seasoned cigar smoker, but and this one's burning pretty well here for me.
Yep.
Box presses for me, they actually smoke quicker for me. Because I don't know if it's the way that they're pressed in the box, what have you, but I've always considered myself a fast smoker. When I was smoking cigarettes back in the day, I'd steamroll, and I still steamroll cigars. How does someone who does that? How do they back themselves away?
Yeah, because you smoke that bad boy.
Yeah, I'm only probably an inch and a half into it. You're about the same. And
I steamroll my cigars for some reason. I don't know. How
you'll notice too that yours probably get bitter all the time, right?
A little bit, yeah,
because you're steamrolling it.
All right.
So if you slow down, you got to give it, let it 30 seconds to a minute and a half. A good cigar will stay lit for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes without taking a puff on it.
Right. Or I enjoy them so much, keep on hitting on it.
Right.
So.
But if you notice, before you get to the band, it's probably starting to get a little tiny bit bitter on you right now.
So just stop for a little while.
Just take it, set it down, have a drink, walk away for 2 seconds.
All right.
30 seconds, whatever. And then it won't get as bitter. And you'll be able to nub it. You'll be pinching, you'll have to pinch the end of it and you'll nub it.
Burn your lips at the same time.
Burn your lips and your fingers at the same time. You'll notice it'll be a lot easier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Because that's something I've been trying to move away from, but I enjoy smoking the cigar, and it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. You know, just little
and it
pointers.
happens with a lot of people that come from the cigarette world. I've noticed too. That I've talked to, they inevitably just hotbox it, and it just gets hot. It gets bitter. It gets squishy. Because you're going too quick on it.
Right.
That's because I'm like I said, since 8th grade, I haven't really been smoking cigarettes. But so now I'm just when
you
I'm
learned at a young age
that.
not to do that.
Yes,
All right.
I learned at a very young age not to do that.
Awesome. You know, Jeremy, if there's anything that anyone wants to know about you guys, where can they find you? You know.
Yep. Our Facebook is where the group is located. The main one that's got over the 30,000, and our Michigan chapter. Just search Cigar Cartel Michigan chapter, and we've got a couple of questions we want you to answer before you get in there. Just make sure you answer those, and then
be engaged.
And then be engaged. Yeah, we ask that you stay engaged and, post every once in a while. You don't post every day. I don't post every day, and I'm the admin of the group. So, you post when you can, and, start conversations. So, hey, what do you think about this one or whatever?
Fair enough. Yeah, because you're 9 to 5. You're too busy, taxing shit out of people, right? I'm just kidding.
Not taxing anymore. Helping them build businesses. Yeah. But
I'm just kidding.
I'm engaged most of the time. If you message me within a half hour, I'll message you back.
All right, fair enough. No, I cannot thank you enough for being back in the man cave with us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We'd love to have you anytime.
And let us know where the next surf is if you do it at the Stray Cat.
Yeah, we haven't set a November, December and January. Sometimes we kind of back off of, there's a lot of things going on for Christmas and whatever. People are busy for the holidays and whatever. So usually we'll do November for sure, but we haven't put a pin in one yet. And but we're hoping things start, opening back up and stay open. And we're trying to be a little cautious because I've heard some rumors that Michigan's going to be
second wave.
Yeah.
Second wave. Well, the numbers are crawling up, and I teach high school during the week, and we're bringing all our kids back in. So we're doing everything we can to get things shut down again.
Going back to virtual.
Happy.
Yeah.
No, I mean we started the year virtual, and we were supposed to be virtual. Yada yada yada, but. So our board, they getting some pressure from just like a very vocal group, but it's it's a small. But they said, all right, well, let's see if we can come up with a plan to bring kids back before that. And it's like at the lower levels, it could work, but in the high school, it's like, well, they're like, can't you just reschedule everybody? We're like, are you insane?
Right.
What do we do about all the grades?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with all these papers that I haven't graded yet?
Right.
What am I supposed to do with those?
Yeah. Yeah, my wife's a first grade teacher, and she said it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
Nobody's there. I wish they could have just stuck to their plan.
Yeah.
And stuck
well,
to
they're
their
all
guns.
in person. They started the year in person.
So
and now they're thinking it might go. Their board is telling them start preparing for virtual because
my sister-in-law in Oxford, they started face to face at like 50%. Then they went 100%. Then they were shut for 3 weeks.
Yes.
Right.
And now that 3 weeks is over. And now they're bringing the kids back in, and it's like, okay,
yeah.
I think that's more disruptive to say, okay, in, out. It's like, and we were bringing kids in because I do the yearbook and newspaper stuff and broadcast stuff, and I was bringing in my editors, and I'm bringing in kids, and kids are coming in, and they're having experiences, and they can come into the building in smaller groups.
Sure.
Our special ed kids are all in the building getting the help that they need.
Right.
But they're like, nope, November, party time.
Right.
1,600 kids, get them in here.
Yeah.
Bam.
But the kids are going to have the option, right? So they'll have the option to be virtual if they're uncomfortable or the parents are uncomfortable, they get to stay home.
Right.
But if they want to come in, they can come in. So I'm going to have to teach the same class twice. I'm going to have to do it in the morning with all my kids that are face to face. Then they go home. And then my kids, I do the same class, my English 12 Block 6.
Yeah.
I'll have English 12 Block 6 virtual in the afternoon again. But I'm only going to I usually have 90 minutes with the kids every other day. Now I'll have like 35 and 40 minutes with the two different sections. It's better at the lower levels. Yeah. And at the high school, it's just a kerfuffle.
It's a cluster.
Yeah,
lack of a better term. Yeah.
Yeah. This year has just been a cluster from
it is what
beginning
it is.
to end. It's just
the teachers are all working their backsides off to make it the work the best as we possibly can and be there for the kids as much as we can and be there for ourselves. There's a few of my co-teachers I'm really worried about because they it's a few breast cancer survivors. This other girl with this like massive immune deficiency, and she's in the building. I'm like, are you insane? I go, what the hell are you doing here?
Right.
And she's like, I really wanted to give it a try. And she goes, we were going to be virtual. And I'm like, how are you feeling now that they're bringing them in? She's like, yeah, this is a little messed up.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
So
I gotta ask you guys, what do you guys smoke when you're doing yard work?
See, where I don't.
Oh, you gotta wait till you're done. That's right.
Well, when I'm done,
Yeah.
I really haven't gone down that path because I'm done. I'm done. I'm not staying outside.
Yeah.
Because it's too hot.
Sure.
Or it's I don't need to be outside.
Sure, right.
But what this would work really well.
Yeah.
I think just to sit back, with a pop or with a bourbon or whiskey or whatever drink you want to do. Honestly, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't have a humidor at home that I can throw a bunch of sticks in. So.
I'm telling you what, if you don't need one of these big fancy wood humidors.
Okay.
Get something that seals. Just either a Tupperware,
Tupperware.
Piece of Tupperware that has 4 sides that lock and has a seal on it.
Okay.
Throw a Boveda pack in it, and away you go. You don't need anything fancy. Get a cooler. I have.
Go on. Yeah.
his mobile humidor.
Wait, the wife's not listening, right?
Yeah.
Coolers at home that are just chock full of cigars that they have a good seal, and you don't ever have to worry about the humidity because there's a good seal on the plastic cooler.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't need anything fancy to be a cigar smoker. You can drop some cash on a nice humidor. You can have the 6 foot high cabinet ones too. I mean, you can really go to town if you want. But if you're just starting out and you're just, you want something small for home or at your office or whatever, you don't have to be fancy about it.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll usually get like a short punch. I like the punch.
Yeah.
Cigars.
Yeah.
You're kicking around the yard with one of those.
Yeah. 30.
There's a rabble going on. So these cigars that is everything up on the table here, up in the raffle?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then what's being raffled off?
We
kind of do this at every herf?
We do this at every herf. A lot of this stuff is donated by our members too. I pull stuff out of my humidors and donate to the group, and some of our regulars, they donate as well. So you get a little mix of everything. We got cigars, we got canvases, we got somebody donated a humidor today. I mean, Sean here, the ambassador.
That's a sexy humidor.
Sean had donated some hats and a flask and whatever. We try and keep it in the bourbon cigar realm. So we've had rocks glasses, we've had barrel staves. Just we're open to anything. Everybody's drinkers and smokers, so
that's cool.
We try and keep it interesting.
Fair enough.
Well, we bought our tickets, so I got my numbers. Waiting for my lucky numbers to come in.
Excellent. Well, Man Cave Happy Hour. Find us on socials. You got mancavehappyhour.com, our Facebook page, on an Instagram. We're on Twitter as well, Man Cave Happy HR. But yeah, we're out there as well, and being part of the festivities that are here today. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me again. Anytime you guys need another guest, let me know.
Yeah,
we'll do it, man.
Want to come to the studio and do one in the studio? That looks really fun.
That could happen
someday.
You need like a portable smoke eater.
And when things do start opening back up, we want to do kind of a grand opening. We haven't had a grand opening in the studios yet, so we want to kind of bring a bunch of folks in just to check it out, have a good time with it, smoke a couple of sticks, at the same time. So
awesome.
Be a good time.
That's going to do it. We're at Ambassador Cigar. It's the Cigar Cartel of Michigan.
Yeah.
And Man Cave Happy Hour. We're going to pause it. We're going to do some more in a little bit.
Yes. But thanks for being
cool.
here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.